What's going on, everybody? Hey, I am trying, whoops, where is it? This microphone. So can you let me know if you can hear me or if I don't have it set up correctly? That would be greatly appreciated. How do I pop this thing out here? All right, just doing the regular Facebook posts, get some more people on here. So we got JA Cutie Pie 14 and Adrian. How are you guys going? Perfect. Excellent. Thanks for the confirmation there, bud. And all right. So I'm excited. This is, I've only done, I think, one other live stream like this where I use the whiteboard. And I'm still trying to figure out the whole technical aspects of everything here. So bear with me. I tried to get this glare. This is actually, it's a light and it's the back window. So I will try to avoid writing in that spot as much as I can. Oops, let me make sure I can see the chat. So Amin, hey, how are you doing? Shrink that. All right. So as people are joining us, if I don't know you, introduce yourself. Where are you watching? Where are you watching this live stream from? Or if you're in the if you're watching the replay, where are you watching the replay from? We got some regular folks. Trina, nice to see you here. I think actually Katrina, the lady that writes, I think this was your idea, if I remember correctly, right? You're like, hey, you should do your. Did you start this whole thing? I think so. And Big Mecca in the house. What's going on, Vincent? Excellent. Abby, Ontario, fantastic. And hey, you gotta. If I lose my voice, I got some water here. I'm fighting off a nasty cold, and so forgive me if I'm a little cloudy in the head or if my voice goes a little bit. But I'm gonna keep this going as long as I can. Any background noise, ignore it. We got our housekeeper here, and she's taking care of the things that need to be taken care of when you live with in a Mecca Osai. So let's get my journal here because I have all my I got my notes and everything here. So I'm excited to dive into this goal setting. It's a huge part of my life. I love it, and you know what? I'm gonna plug in my computer so that doesn't die. Goal setting is a huge part of my life, and I've been setting goals for, man, I can't even remember how long, a while. And I tell you, the years that I set goals compared to the years that I don't, those years that I do, it's so much more successful. So much more successful, in business and in personal and everything. Just gonna move this over. All right, so from St. Augustine, Florida, still at work. But it's all good. Monique, and from India, fantastic. Had to make sure I caught you when you announced it. Excellent, perfect. And yeah, no, I'm excited. Like I was saying, 2018, it can be a breakthrough year for so many of us. But it really goes down to setting your goals. And what we're going to focus on today, I'm going to cover my business goals that I want the business to hit next year, but I'm going to show you how I think big, but then break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks, so you don't get overwhelmed. And the whole idea is you can take this concept, and this is how I do personal goals, and you can apply it to whatever you want in life. So yeah, so you know what, we're just going to dive into this right now, and yeah, let's just dive into it. If you have any questions about goal setting and stuff, let me know in the chat, and I'll run through if it's relevant to what we're talking about right now, I'll answer it. If not, I'll just go to it at the end. And yeah, so my water there, awesome. All right, so goal setting. So the way I think about it is I never tend to look back at what I did the previous year or growth that I had the previous year or anything like that, because I just want to get in the habit of always looking forward to say, hey, what is possible next year? What is, how much can I grow the business next year? How much can I accomplish next year? How many people can I impact next year? And there's two ways to figure out your goals, right? I just don't want to trip over my mic here. There's the idea that you can set these big, massive goals which you might not hit. For example, when I set my goal out for 2017, my goal was to generate $200,000 in revenue. We're not coming close to that this year. We're not coming close, but the increase that we did have by going after such a big, lofty goal compared to the year before was massive. And that is what matters. It doesn't matter whether or not you hit your goal. It matters that you pick goals that make you nervous, that are going to force you to grow, that are going to force you to learn new things, and that will end up making you a better person. Because what's more important, hitting the goal or the person you become while you're going after that goal? I'd rather miss every single goal I ever set for myself, but knowing that I'm setting goals way too large that I have to try so much harder to end up hitting those goals, that I grow so much better, because then even the next year I can keep growing. So let's go on that basis. So so my goal for 2018, let's kind of break it down here. And I don't know if it'll be backwards. If it's not, but it's too late, can't really fix that. So looks like actually it might be okay. So the goal for 2018 is a total of $474,220. Now, I was going through these things just a little bit before we started doing this, and I look at that and I'm like, yeah, come on, Amaka, let's get serious, bro. That ain't happening. And now here's the deal. My goal this year was 200,000. We're gonna finish probably somewhere around 60 grand or so. But it's not bad, because the year before that I made about 2 grand in passive income. This year it'll be about, somewhere between 50 and 60 grand. I don't know yet. Depends on what we did for November and how December goes. But although this number is completely out of my comfort zone, and I might not even fully believe that I can actually accomplish a number that big, let me show you how it breaks down. And this is the most important thing, because if I was to start the year and say, okay, I need to make Jesus, that's like $500,000 almost. $500,000 in 1 year. How am I going to do that? You don't know until you actually break it down. And that is the thing that I want to show you, how to break it down into a more manageable thing. So there's different areas of the business that I broke this down into. One are the different courses or products and programs that I personally have already, or that I'm going to be adding to my portfolio, so to speak. So next year, want to have 1,000 people go through the blueprint. 1,000 people go through the blueprint. That right there, providing I don't increase the price, would be $197,000. 100 people going through what's eventually going to be my, you can see I got some writing over here. This is like my top secret stuff that I can't show you guys yet. It's stuff I'm working on. And it'll be more of a higher level course that'll probably be capping out at only 100 people to accept into that program. But that would be another $99,700. So then we have, one-on-one mentoring. And that I would limit at 5 people a month. And that's $997 a month. Which is, oh, and that's for 6 months. That's not, the reason I didn't do this for the full year, I think I did a couple of those. Yeah, the reason I only am breaking this number down over like 6 months, and it doesn't mean that it's a 6-month commitment. It just means that, like in January, I'm not going to have 5 people. I won't be working with 5 people yet a month. I figure it'll take a bit of time to build up to that. But anyways, hopefully that makes sense. If not, just let me know. You guys still see? So that's $30,000 in income. And then I have my group coaching program. And that would be a max of 20 people a month for total. So, and then that would be for, over 8 months. That would be $47,520. Okay. So right there, those products are $374,220 of that total income. Now it's funny because as I was breaking down these goals, I sent a message, I sent an email to my coach, my mentor, D1. I was like, yo, is this even possible next year? And, whenever, that is like the most important thing is if you want to move forward, have a mentor, have somebody who's getting the results or who's got the results before you have. I keep saying without him, there's no way I would have even started the blueprint this year. I thought it was going to be something I was going to have to do next year. And he just completely shifted my thinking on it and gave me the confidence I needed to do it. So when I look at this number or these numbers and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, I really rely on him to say, actually, here's how we can do it. Or you might be like, yeah, you know what? I don't think you're fully ready to accomplish that yet. He didn't respond back to me because I just sent it to him like half an hour ago. But it'll be interesting to see what he says. But having a mentor is just, it's so key there. Now, some other projects, hopefully you can still see this. So put these under other projects. So like this, for example, would cover books. Like publishing, whether it's Amazon and off Amazon, the whole publishing things. $5,000 a month. And that's over 8 months because it's not at $5,000 yet, but that would be $40,000 right there. And once again, the reason why I'm doing this just over 8 months versus the 12 months of next year is I think my publishing business is only at like $3,000 or $4,000 a month right now. So it's just taking my assistant a little bit of time to build it up to the $5,000 a month part. Who knows? Maybe by February we'll have hit $5,000. But yeah, and I've said it before. I don't think you should really take publishing much further than that. It should just kind of give you a nice little cushion so you can kind of go and expand on other areas, unless your passion is publishing books and you really want to scale up and build a brand and do all those fun things. And then I also have just other things that I'm working on that ain't ready to release yet, but things that I'm working on and testing out as well, thinking those should bring in about $60,000 over the course of 2018, over the next eight to 10 months there. Cool. All right. So so once you've set your big lofty goals, okay, so how do you break these down to something that's going to be more or smaller and a lot more manageable? So what I'm going to do is, let's take, for example, you can see having a 2-year-old, look what's happened to my eraser, and I have 1 pen left. So I didn't have time I was like, oh no, I forgot the eraser was broken. So I gotta go buy a new one. Buy a new one and hide it. Because, yeah. Okay. So breaking down, I'm just going to show you how I kind of break down one, but I would do this with every single one of those goals that I've showed you. I would literally take a page in my journal, put each goal at the top, and then, all right, this would be the action plan on how to break it down to a more regular, or to a smaller size. All right, so if I want to have 1,000 people go through the blueprint next year, what I need to do is I need to have 83 people sign up every month, right? So breaking it down, so I need 83 people to sign up for the course every month. You break that down, that works out to 2.7 people a day. So 3 a day. So then once you have those daily goals broken down, okay, how can I get 3 people a day to sign up for the course? Well, there's the promotion I can do on social media for it. There's affiliate promotions, so having other people promote the course through their blog or whatever, how they want. There's sending emails to my lists and different things like that. There's my book that's coming out. And Ethan, I think you mentioned something about the book. Have you stopped writing your book? Oh, the book's done, bud. It's done. It's over on the couch. Done. It's going to be coming out. I've sent it out to people for some promotion stuff I'm doing, but it's done. I'll be dropping it any week. So yeah, it's ready to go, man. So those are the different things I look at when, okay, how can I get the 3 people a day to sign up? I take a look at these different areas. Okay, these are the areas I can bring traffic in. But then I break it down even further, right? And this is the big difference. So I break it down. So social media, right? YouTube is my largest traffic source, right? Then there's Facebook. Instagram, I don't use a ton yet, but there's Instagram. So I break that down, and then I say, okay, so what is my YouTube strategy going to be? And it might be those different things that I would do. What's the Facebook? Am I going to run ads? Posts on the page, different things like that. Affiliates. Do I run contests for people to promote it? Who has, maybe it's who has some larger influence that can promote the course. And I would do it for emails, do it for the book promotion, and all of those things. And then you keep breaking them down into the smallest things. So you know exactly, okay, well, I just focus on these things. They'll impact this, which will impact this, which will impact this, which will impact that number. And then you can imagine when I had all those things on there, you keep breaking them down into this small thing. You do all of those small things. And that, these, hopefully this is making sense. This is what you focus on every day for the whole year. These little things, because then they start impacting the bigger things, and you base your schedule around these little things, because then over the course of the time, it's the compound effect, you end up hitting your larger goals. So let me know if that makes sense in the chat there. Give me just type a random thing on the keyboard or whatever you want to do. Just let me know that makes sense, because I can't see any thumbs up, or obviously I can't see you nodding your heads. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at some of the questions there. All right. Aniela, hopefully I got your name right. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, it's all in the details, right? I think you hit big goals by thinking small, right? You hit big goals by thinking small, by working backwards into the smallest little tasks that you can accomplish. And this is how I've been able to. This is how I don't get stressed out, by breaking down things on such a small scale. And I've been doing this precise method probably for the last only 3 or 4 years, but it's impacted my goal setting so much. All right, Vincent, the fiction way is the series, but you have to move quick, and every page has to leap to the reader's imagination. What about creating multiple Kindle accounts, a 5K a month profit, and then sell each one after 12 months of trading? I think maybe it was the live stream that I talked about selling. Selling a Kindle business is just kind of, I don't want to say it's a dumb thing to do, but it's a dumb thing to do, I think. Because you can't really sell it, because it's a business that doesn't grow unless you're putting work into it, right? Like, you have a 5K a month business, Ethan, but if I don't do anything with the Kindle business, eventually it's probably going to taper off, whether it take a year or two. But I think a much better thing to do with a Kindle business, instead of selling it, is like, once it's at 5K, you pay a VA and you invest, like pay a VA like $150 a month to run it. You meet with them once a month. This is at least what I'm working up to. You meet with them once a month. You give them a budget of $400, $350 to $400, to keep that account going. You publish one book in there, but they do literally everything. Your meeting with them comprises of like 15 to 30 minutes a month. It's like, okay, show me the numbers. Where are we at? Where are we going? And yeah. Selling it includes the VA such on Improv Flippers. Like, I don't know, that's kind of out of my jurisdiction, so to speak. I don't know a ton about that. Selling it, like the buyer's getting ripped off. Whoever buys a Kindle business is getting ripped off, especially if there's a ton of review swaps on it. Like, that's somebody eventually is going to get sued. They're going to sell a business that they built off of review swaps, which was it against Amazon's terms of service or not? But like, it's not, I just don't think it's a smart business, a smart thing to do, unless you've built it up the right way, you've created a brand, and then you sell that. So that's a little different. But yeah, I don't think anyone should ever buy a Kindle publishing business. That's just a stupid investment. You should create one and build one, but I don't think you should buy somebody else's, unless you're a publisher and you know the risk you're taking on. But then you should buy it for pennies on the dollar. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm just one guy. You're right. With 2-year-olds, still need a few. Yeah, totally. I'm realizing that. Like, I had all my pens, and I'd find them laying around with the tops off, and or she goes and boom, boom, boom on the board. I'm like, no, it's Daddy's board. Per day is a good idea. It makes it manageable. It does, Vincent. My goal is at least $10,000 a month on fiction series, and I'll get it based off what the first book sold. Keep going. Keep going. My goal is to create a ton of children's books. I have 5 done and about 20 more ideas for books. Building my brand is now my focus. Excellent. Excellent. Love that. But, I'm really interested to see what D1 says about these goals, because am I, like, right now, if I look in the mirror, can I see myself earning, $400,000? No, I don't think a Mekosai today on December 1st, 2017 is capable of that. I'd have to, what's up, man? I'd have to grow into that person. I'd have to learn new skills, find a way to reach more people. Learn how to manage money even better than I do now. Those are all of the things that, I think about when I'm setting goals. It's not so much the mechanics, but okay, what's the type of person I need to be in order to receive a paycheck like this at the end of the year? Who do I have to be? What habits do I have to change? What habits do I have to give up? Those are all of the things that I kind of think about when I'm setting these big goals, because I think people set the goals, but they don't realize. But you want to set the goal, but you also have to change as a person. You have to change it. Like there's that old cliche saying of, if you give a millionaire, or if you give a person $1 million, what are they? Are they a millionaire? If you give somebody $1 million, are they a millionaire now? Let me know in the comments here. I don't like how it's delayed. I can't tell, one, if anyone's actually commenting, or two, I just can't tell if it's delayed. But if you give somebody $1 million, they're not a millionaire. They are somebody with $1 million, right? So you have to learn how to earn. You have to learn how to earn $1 million to become an actual millionaire. Okay, let's see some other questions here. Ethan, do you ever feel regret from setting huge goals? No, man. That was something I let go of a couple of years ago. I know some people, in fact, I've watched a video on that. Like, some people think, if you set these big goals, do you regret or feel bad about not hitting them or get discouraged? And man, it was hard for me setting the goals in the beginning, setting, for 200,000 this year, and I didn't hit it. And I was like, oh, but what if people think I'm a failure? What if people think I'm not that good because I didn't hit that particular goal? What will people think? One, I realized, who cares what people think? It's not my problem. That's their problem. But two, it's by setting the bigger goal and going after it, man. Like, trust me, if I set a goal to make if it's like, I'm going to make 60 grand this year, I probably would have made like 10, because I wouldn't have stretched my thinking. I wouldn't have really, and D1 does that so much. He's like, hey, you want to have your first 30K month? He calls me out on it. He's like, Mecca, what you sent me is not going to bring you 30K a month in. Go back to the drawing board. And I was like, oh, I got to change my thinking. So I don't feel regret after. If I hit this, if I only hit 200, if I do half, man, you're like, man, okay, next year got to think bigger. What can I learn and keep going forward? So no, I don't feel regret. After you set yearly goals, do you set monthly, weekly, and daily goals? Yeah, so what I would do next, Ethan, is I'd go over this with my mentor, kind of break it down, get their thoughts on it. But then I'd start making a plan. Okay, what is my social media plan? So what am I going to do for YouTube? Well, and I kind of have a rough list of, okay, January, this will be the focus. And, for the book promotion, emails. So yeah, there's a lot more detailed planning that goes into this. It's honestly, to do all of it, it's probably about a week's worth of work, just breaking it down. So every month I have kind of a more detailed focus. Okay, this month I'm going to figure out the YouTube strategy, implement it. This month it's going to be this. And so yeah, more details go into it. You get what you become, absolutely. $1 million is more like $675 after taxes. Depends on how you have everything set up, right? If you give a person $1 million, right? But what if they should be incorporated, right? Like, there's no way I'm going to give the government 40% of that. To hell with that. Have to make sure I'm incorporated, have the business earn it, so I can get the certain tax breaks that you want to get. So that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, right? Like, yeah, definitely. A Mecca Osai will not earn that. The business will earn that to keep as much from the government as possible. So is that all right? Audio. Cool. And all right, Daniela, do you organize this in an Excel or a calendar? Well, that's a good question. What am I going to do? I am a big fan of Excel sheets, but honestly, I probably write this down on, like, first place I do it is it's in my journal. So put it all down in the journal first. And then from there, I probably wouldn't use an Excel sheet. I haven't really used one for this type of thing in the past. You know what? It'd probably go from the journal right onto my wall. In my bedroom, when I start doing year-end goals, and I'll show you, I have some paper on my wall that has my goals and like my vision board. Not even a vision board, come on, it's 4 pieces of paper. But it just has the goals for the business and the goals for personal that I wanted to hit this year. And so I would take these, break them down, and put them up on the wall, because I'm somebody, like, the best way to hit your goals is to see them every single day. So every morning when I've been getting up, I've been reminded that my goal is to hit 200,000 in sales and a whole bunch of other things. Some that I've accomplished, I've crossed them off, and some that I haven't accomplished. And I just wake up every day reminding myself, oh, you didn't get that one. You didn't get that one. But what books, courses, videos have you read, or do you recommend reading, goal setting, and achieving? So that's a good question, bud. Jim Rohn's coming to mind. He has a phenomenal seminar. It's called the Weekend Seminar. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I just download it, like the audio program from wherever you download your music. It's a weekend long, so it's like 13 to 15 hours. But he has a wicked goal. You can probably even type in Jim Rohn goal setting workshop, and that probably where I learned most of this, actually, now that I think about it. But I'd start there. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, watch a couple of his videos. Man, the guy's old school, but oh my gosh, he's like a legend in the personal development niche. In fact, you all know Tony Robbins. Jim Rohn was like his mentor. That's how Tony got into it. And so, yeah, I would definitely start there. I watch everything, and yeah, I started doing that as well, Ethan. The 2x speed, and it's like, man, you go through stuff so much. Some videos are so much easier to watch faster. But yeah, dude, maybe you could give some insight on this one. When you were still at your 9 to 5, how did you justify time to stop and learn, like reading, when there was so much to execute on? Great question, Scott. You know what? I'm struggling with that right now, actually. Woke up this morning and I was like, where's my book? And the fact that I don't know where my book is right now tells you how much reading I'm doing right now. Because I read a post. What was it? I think it was one of Stefan's posts. And I was like, oh man, the dude's reading so much. And he does. He posts his books on the Kindle thing he uses, and he reads a ton. And I was like, I need to read more, because I miss my mind working differently than when I'm absorbing some info off YouTube or something like that. It's different. So your question is, how do you justify time to stop and learn? Look, it goes, you guys probably all heard this, right? 2 guys chopping down a tree. Okay, one guy's hammering it, right? The other guy, he hammers it, then takes time to what? To sharpen his axe. Is this sharpening an axe? Right? Other guy, hammer. Other guy, hammer, sharpen. Hammer, sharpen. The other guy's like, why are you wasting time sharpening your axe? And then the other guy takes one more swing. Tree falls down. Looks at the other guy. Why is your tree still standing and mine's not? Okay. Sharpening your axe is like reading, right? And, so you justify the time. You can grind away and do everything you can, but if you're not taking a bit of time to improve your mind or learn a new technique or take time to yourself or whatever, so those are the things that those are the things that make the difference. For example, for me, running, like this whole workshop idea, it came to me while I was running. Like I go out for my run and I'll be listening to something and then I'll be like, oh my God, that's genius. And I'll stop and I'll start taking notes on my phone. And then I'll just go back to it and it's like, oh man, that's even better. So for me, running it's just a way that it helps clear my mind and gets me thinking. So you have to kind of find your way that allows your brain to kind of think and execute on ideas. Now, I'm just gonna move out of the way here. And I'll just kind of shift gears, and I'll chat with you a little longer here. So yeah, so Scott, hopefully that helps you out there, bud. And yeah, wake up earlier. Yes, you're absolutely right. I'd like to start getting up at 5 a.m. again. Right now, it's been a little challenging, but yeah. Where's analogy? Most successful entrepreneurs are always reading some sort of business books. You're right, business books, but also I got some great books on like philosophy. I got one, The Untethered Soul. I haven't read that one yet. Daring Greatly, I read that one, and this is Daring Greatly was one of the most impactful books I've ever read. It's by Brené Brown, I think her name was. But oh my gosh, Daring Greatly is a phenomenal book here. But yeah, so I read a lot of books, not just on business, but personal development, or I try to broaden my my reading as I can. And some audiobooks that are read by the actual author are the only ones that I could stand. I don't like audiobooks just narrated by some generic person. They're too dry. I need to be entertained if I'm going to listen to it. So Vincent asked, how do you learn better, books or trial and error? Trial and error is 100 times better than learning from books. Books will take you so far, right? It's just like books will take you so far. Trial and error will take you to where you want to go, right? You can learn all the books you want. You can read all. This is a problem with education system, right? College. The problem with taking, like, if you're going to school for business, like that's the problem. You can go to school for business, or you can go run a business, which is going to teach you more. So actually running a business will teach you how to run a business, whereas the concepts of running a business will teach you the concepts of running a business. But it's not until you start getting customers, you start making sales, taking transactions, is when you learn. Showers. Yep, great ideas come in the shower. I get a lot of them in the shower as well. Yeah. Ideas while driving. I get those as well. I use Evernote in case you're wondering, because Evernote, it syncs up to your computer and to your phone. I think you can. It's allowed 3 devices for free, and that way, when I put in a note, it'll sync up to all the devices, so I can take the notes and or add to it or whatnot. It's great. Ethan, how old are you, my man? Ethan? Must be early 20s, I'm guessing. Good advice. Love sharpening my knives. So it's perfect. Dog Dad, Scott, what type of knives are you using, bro? I'm an F geek. Did Cutco for 12 years. My ideas come best when I'm at my job. Hey, it's all good, right? It's all good. So sweet. If there's any other questions on goal setting, I would love to answer. And hey, if this workshop has helped, please give me some thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, you're 32, man. We're like pretty much the same age. All right. So as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, that's the most important thing, right? Everyone's life path is a little different. So, but cool, awesome. All right, everyone, I'm gonna try to rest up this cold a little bit more because I got my marathon coming up in like 9 days, and do not have time to be slacking on my training. So thank you all for joining me. If you have any other questions, make sure you just leave a comment. I always reply to that, or you can hit me up at emeka@emekaosai.com. You can reach me there, and there's links in the description if you want to find out how to get started working with me, or publishing books, or whatever the case is. I'm here to help you all make 2018 your absolute best year. We're going to talk a lot more about this over the next few weeks, because I want to be there for you and help you hit your goals and explode in 2018. Till next time, everyone, take care.